Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of MJ Every Day, a diet-based episode for you guys today. Going to be talking to you about macronutrient split. Now, I've had a lot of questions since episode 6 went live, where I talked to you guys about carbohydrate timing, when to consume carbohydrates, about macronutrient split. So what percentage of your daily caloric intake should be coming from protein, what percentage from carbs, and what percentage from fats to give your body what it needs to improve body composition. So to give your body the proteins that it needs, the building blocks to build muscle, to give your body enough carbs but not too many carbs to allow your body to burn body fat, and to give your body the fats it needs for everything that your body does with fats. So a general rule of thumb, good starting point for macronutrient split, guys, is you take your daily caloric intake. So let's say, for example, 3,000 calories, just to pluck a number out of the air so we've got something to work with. You take your 3,000 calories that you're consuming per day. You want to get 40% of those calories from protein. So 1,200 of those 3,000 calories from protein. You want to get 40% of those calories from carbs. So once again, 1,200 of those 3,000 calories from carbs. And you want to get the remaining 20% of those calories, the remaining 600, from fats. So 40, 20, 40% protein, 40% carbs, 20% fats is a very good starting point. Now, there's a couple of things to remember here. Firstly, remember that each gram of protein will contribute 4 calories, each gram of carbs will contribute 4 calories, and each gram of fat will contribute 9 calories. So when you take of the 3,000, you know 1,200 is coming from protein, you divide that 1,200 by 4, and that's how many grams of protein you're after. Carbohydrates, the same thing. You take the 1,200, the 40% of 3,000, divide it by 4, that's how many grams of carbs you're after. Fats, you take the remaining 600 calories, the remaining 20%, you divide that 600 by 9, and that's how many grams of fat you are after. And what that's going to do, guys, is it's going to give you sufficient protein, sufficient essential amino acids from whole food sources of protein to give your body the building blocks that it needs to repair muscle tissue and all of the other tissue in your body. But when we look at body composition, to repair and rebuild muscle tissue and help you build muscle, it's going to give you sufficient carbohydrates to fuel, to give you the energy and the fuel to get through your workouts and to stimulate muscle growth, but not too many carbohydrates that you start storing them as body fat. And it's going to give you sufficient fats, primarily for hormone production, also for organ health, also as a secondary fuel source as well, and all of the other things that your body does with fats as well. So it's a really good starting point to help you, to give your body what it needs to change body composition. It does vary based on person to person. Now, I say it's a good starting point because the 40-40-20 rule is a fantastic starting point that then you can kind of make adjustments depending on how your body reacts. So if you're a person who is insulin resistant and you don't use carbohydrates very well as a fuel source, you might take that 40% coming from carbs and bump it down to 30 or 25, and then bump your fat intake up to 30 or 35. If you're a person that you don't digest whole food sources of protein very well, you might bump your protein down and increase your carbohydrates. If you're a person who just loves high fat diets, you might increase your fat and bring both your protein and carbohydrates down. So it does vary, and you can make changes to that 40-40-20 rule depending on what sort of macronutrients your body uses more efficiently than others. But a very good starting point, if you just don't really know where to start, is the 40-40-20 rule. 40% of your total calories from protein, 40% from carbs, 20% from fat. Now, what I'm going to do for you guys, I'm going to pop a link in the description box to our free online nutrition plan where it does all of this for you. You guys that have used it before would know. If you haven't, click on the link, go check it out. You put in your variables, your gender, your goal, your age, your height, what you're trying to achieve, and it will literally do this for you. It will give you a macronutrient plan. It uses the 40-40-20 rule to tell you how many grams of carbs, how many grams of protein, how many grams of fat you need per day, and then it spits out a meal plan for you and tells you where to get those macronutrients from. So for those of you who want not only a good starting point, but a legit good starting point meal plan based on this 40-40-20 principle, click that link down below in the description box and go give the free online nutrition plan a crack. Guys, that's a wrap for today's episode of MJ Every Day. As always, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on both on your mobile, cell phone, and your desktop PC so you don't miss a beat when it comes to the Massive Joes YouTube channel. And I will see you guys tomorrow for another episode of MJ Every Day. Until then, I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Stay